welcome. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. And that's right, you smell it cooking because, you know, we got the Chuck Waggin. But before anything, we got the voice lady of sports talk, the one and only, Cheryl Smith. Good morning, voice lady.
Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing out there?
All right, you looking bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and I see you already sipping on some cranberry juice, getting her mojo going. And man, the Chuck Waggin came in the middle of the night. I'm going to tell you, the studio got ash, rib juice, paper plates, and potato salad everywhere. So I don't know what happened, but I just want to make sure all grumpy know I didn't have nothing to do with it. When I came in, and, you know, there was some sausage links hanging on the outside of the door. What can I say? You know, what can I say? Chuck Waggin, how's it rolling today?
It's going great. Brontosaurus burgers will be on the menu later today. Get you one.
You know, he done went and got my pet Bronto. They put him on the grill. Oh, no. It's going to be what it is. Now, check out the music this week on Shout Out. We are featuring performances from Catherine King. Not to be confused with Carole King. Now, we will feature Carole King's music. We kind of like us some Carole King. But she ain't made none recently, so, you know. But if she do, we're going to put her on. See if she get a smooth. See if she can get a shout out. Now, will Catherine King find her shining star, get the cold feel of the mute button? Because it can go that way. First lady, we're ready. What you say?
Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdie known as Carmelo Anthony is chirping. He wishes he could fly far away from the deals with the Thunder and Rockets. Carmelo got a national interview to complain about how he was treated by both teams and how, given a chance, he is still a player who should start games, maybe. His tenure with the Thunder was not so good, and they knew his skills had declined. And he needed to come off the bench, which, of course, he was totally opposed to doing. According to the Melo, one, he needed to start so he can get in the flow. So the Thunder sent him packing. After 10 games, the Rockets realized this ain't going to work, and before we have locker room issues, bye-bye, Carmelo, bye-bye. Should the Lakers get Carmelo? Is it time for Carmelo to gracefully hang up the sneakers? Is Carmelo a Hall of Famer? Oprah Winfrey, Janelle Hunt, Doris Fisher, and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Well, you know, I saw the interview Carmelo had with ESPN Stephen A. Smith, and the one question that Stephen A. Smith did ask Melo was that he's friends with LeBron. So if LeBron wanted him to be there, he would be in L.A. But guess what? So far, he's not in L.A. So, you know, there's something weird about that situation. I know LeBron tried to get Melo in Cleveland, but he kind of spurned LeBron and went to the Thunder. So I don't know if that had something to do why LeBron doesn't have him in L.A. at this point. But really, if he wanted to go to L.A. and LeBron's there, he could be in L.A., but for some reason he's not. And you know what? Melo didn't even have an answer for that. He said he don't rely on his friends to help him or something to the fact what he said. But, you know, at this point in time, Melo definitely needs to sign on a team that has a chance to win a championship. But right now, it's so late to sign on a team because most of these teams have so many guaranteed contracts. But I think there are teams out there that I believe he can go to if he doesn't go to the Lakers. It would be Portland. I think the Trailblazers could use him. Toronto definitely could use him because, Kawhi's not there. So they do need somebody who's in a forward position, power forward too. So I think Detroit could use him. But, out of those teams, Portland really is the only team that has a chance to win a championship. So I don't know what's out there for Carmelo, but I definitely think he still wants to play. Of course, he stated that. But I was just amazed how he was treated by the Houston Rockets. I mean, what he described seemed to be so cold when they told him that his services was no longer needed after 10 games. I mean, that really was really, really cold. And you can't tell me that Coach D'Antoni, didn't play a role in that decision. I just don't see a GM making that decision as saying that he could not be part of the rotation when the coach is the person that sets the rotation. So I think Melo was being very politically correct when Stephen A. asked him, did he think that D'Antoni had a part in the reason why he wasn't on the team? He said, no, I don't think he played a role in it, but he was being politically correct because he didn't want to ruin his chances with another team. And I think GMs around the league, they needed to hear from Melo because they needed to hear that he was willing to accept a bench role, to come off the bench, because there was a perception around the league that he wouldn't be happy coming off the bench. Personally, I think that was the real message, and the reason why he requested that interview is because he wanted to put that out there that, yes, he is willing to come off of the bench. And I think that's very important for any GM to sign Melo to a contract. I don't think it's time for him to hang up his sneakers. I think he still has a lot to offer. I mean, why would he hang up his sneakers, especially since he went on national TV lobbying for another chance? He seemed so sincere. Matter of fact, to me, he really came off sounding a little bit desperate that he wanted to play. He said he would play anywhere. Is basically what he said. And so, I mean, the man really wants to play. And he had to check his feelings about being dumped because he definitely was fired. And I think like he said, he had to check his feelings and he had to get over that. And I think he's over it now and he wants to play. Regardless if he plays another game or not, Carmelo Anthony is definitely a first-ballot Hall of Famer. He's won in the college championship. He has the stats. He has the recognition as an all-star and an all-NBA player. So there is no question that he definitely will be a Hall of Famer, but I don't think he's ready to be a Hall of Famer at this time because I still think he has a lot to play for. Chuck, what do you think about Mr. Melo?
Well, I think Carmelo Anthony is. I've never liked Carmelo Anthony. However, I feel like he did what he had to do on that interview with Stephen A. I mean, he was critical of the Rockets. I mean, look, you look at his time here with the Rockets, okay? And I'm not a fan of the Rockets. I'm trying to like them, but I can't get into them just yet. But you look at his time here. And, I mean, it's hard to ignore that every time he got on the court, first of all, he had like 40% shooting, which was not, it's not too good. He could have done better on that. And then he steps on the court, and as soon as he does, I mean, the floodgates open to their basket, I mean, his defense is terrible. So I think that had more to do with him leaving than anything else. But, yeah, you look at Carmelo Anthony, he's definitely not done yet. And I have to agree with you, Cheryl, that this interview was more about, he's got to come out there and say, hey, look, I'm willing to, it was ugly the way I left. And he, and it's okay for him to throw out, all the things that he said about the Rockets and how, badly he was treated or whatever. He thought things were going good. And for him, in his mind, they were going good. So that had to be a real shocker for him, So, it's good that he came out. He put his feelings behind him on that it's squashed, it's over with. But he made his play for other GMs out there to see him, hey, look, I'm older now. I'm ready to come back in a new role. I'm going to be that guy that just comes and gets in the way for a little while, and has good shooting while I'm doing it. So he needed to do this interview. You got some teams out there that can use this guy too. I mean, he is no dud by any means at this point in his career. He just has to accept that he's got a new role. There's new young bucks out there, new young whippersnappers out there that are going to run all over him. So he's got to accept a different role. And you know who could use him right now is I think you got different teams that could benefit from him. Brooklyn could be a team that could benefit from him. Kevin Durant's out for God knows how long, so why wouldn't they be able to use Melo? You have Portland, of course. You mentioned Portland. He's got a good ally over there in Portland with Dame Lillard, who's also talked about wanting Melo to have another fair shot. So I think that could probably work good together for him. You got the whole thing with L.A., and I think you're absolutely right, Cheryl, when you talked about him spurning LeBron, and maybe that has a reason to do why he's not there right now. And then of course there's always the Clippers. He could go in there and make some noise with Kawhi and them going on over there. But I think what he really should do is go home to Denver and just finish off his role there in a strong role off the bench. I think that would be the best thing for him, and then he could do his work there on the bench and work on getting into that Hall of Fame. But right now, I don't think he's Hall of Fame worthy just yet. And this last part of his career will definitely dictate that for him. But he should definitely not give it up, not yet. I mean, he's still got some gas in that tank. So Carmelo, I know you're listening. Get your ass out there to Denver and do it right. Get in that Hall of Fame, bud. I've never liked you. But you know what? I've never liked you, but you know what? You deserve it, man. You've been a fixture in the NBA for many, many years now, kept your nose clean. He can do Dancing with the Stars and all that. Why not? On his way out. It'll be a great thing for him. Do it, Carmelo.
All right, Spitface. He said Dancing with the Stars. All right, okay.
Twinkle Toes Mellow. I didn't know he could work them moves. And I'm looking at things, and I'm looking at the interview with Carmelo, and I'm going to tell you, I started having flashbacks to not an NBA player, but an NFL player. I think his name was T.O. And it was something about, it's my quarterback.
Oh no!
I was waiting for him to break out with that move. I'm really a good guy. I was done so wrong. Oh, Carmelo. How many millions did this send so sensitive little Melo? His little feelings got hurt because he got fired after collecting millions of dollars. And if he was all that in a bag of chips, other teams would have said, "Oh, we can just swoop." They didn't swoop. And as far as the Melo, bad boy Melo. See, Melo, don't be watching Fox News, because see, you pick up bad habits like liar, pants on fire. Gosh darn well. And I cleaned it up because we had music last week where words might have got spoken. But gosh darn well, your butt was not going for coming off the bench until the Rockets said, you know what, let him go. Let him go, And as far as, was it D'Antoni? Was it management? It don't matter. It don't. Because you needed to get that cold reality that, guess what? You are a star, but you ain't a superstar no more. You ain't a superstar no more. You're a star. You're a legit star, and you had years as a superstar. And the last time I looked, you were well compensated. So, to me, what you got to complain about? If you never play another day in the NBA, you need to kiss your lucky star. And something that the Waggin said, kept your nose clean. Ain't nothing, your image ain't tarnished. You were really one of the better guys in the NBA. So, and now I do disagree with Chuck Waggin, the man a first-round Hall of Fame, if he don't do nothing else. Now, because there are plenty of players, they just never got to, championship games. It just didn't happen. And, and they didn't get that opportunity to catch on with a team at the end that was rising where they could kind of get in and contribute, and that might be his case. But don't come out here doing a TO. Don't come out. Because I'm sitting up here going, I'm about to say the N-word. I'm about to say, you come on. Now, the real reason, I'm going to tell you the reason why teams ain't picking up Carmelo is money. He ain't doing it. Carmelo's still trying to make cash in. Now, teams, he need to go to Toronto and say, look, you know what? I'm going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be in there. Now, hey, it might just be, you know what? Y'all learned a lot from Kawhi. I'm coming in now. Look, I got to have, so hey, something. But, and I got to have it so much. I want to play. Look, just put some numbers together. But see, Carmelo still want to cash in. And that's what's going to keep him out. It ain't a matter of him coming off the bench or starting. It's a matter of money. And I didn't say Monet. I said money. It's my dollar bill, baby, dollar bill. And, but we shall see. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Well, I can't imagine him thinking that he's going to cash in. He's going to get a minimum salary contract. I mean, come on now. He can't make any more money. But anyway, just to look at his last game with the Rockets in 20 minutes, he was 1 for 11, 0 for 6 with 3 points. So that's
you gonna just pour it on. You gonna pour it on the Melo one. That you gonna get a layer. Oh man, we tried to get brother a little love.
And they lost the game. So that's 20 minutes. I mean, that's not productive.
My man down there, he curved down.
Anyway,
that went off the rails.
All right, over to you, Spitface.
Don't call it. Mello, listen to this. I'm already come back. I've been here for years, rocking my fears and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go. Boom. Explosion. Overpowering over the competition. I'm tired. Record shot. When I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare. You better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that all get sliced and diced. Competition paying the price. I'm going to knock you out. Mama said, knock you out. We are not talking about Linda Register, Judy Love, or Ty Lee. We are talking about the knockout punch to the Raiders' preseason workout plans with the absence of Antonio Brown due to an undisclosed injury. Brown arrives to camp in hot air balloon. Brown is put on the non-football injury list. Brown's Instagram picture of his blistered feet. Brown passes physical, can practice starting Sunday. Is there a picture starting to develop already with Antonio Brown? Will Coach Gruden be able to deal with AB, or is a clash looming? If Gruden's offense doesn't click, who will he blame? The quarterback, star receiver, or both? Diane Hendricks, Meg Whitman, and Miriam Ellis are asking, what you say? Chuck Waggin, what you say?
Antonio Brown is a great character. He did some things I didn't agree with. Cheryl disagreed with me. He got his money. He's got his fame. He's got everything going for him. Comes in a hot air balloon, and now all of a sudden he's got an undisclosed injury. Is he taking a page out of Carlos Correa's book? Is it going to be revealed that he was injured during the massage or something. I mean, what are these undisclosed injuries? But having said that, a picture emerged of blistered feet. So God knows. I mean, who knows? You never know with this guy. He may have been walking on coals in Hawaii just to, prove that he can walk on coals. I mean, I don't know. But, and Antonio Brown, though, and John Gruden are not going to mesh well. I can already see this coming. It's just not going to work out. It's a bomb just waiting to blow up. And so it's going to be entertaining, that's for sure. I mean, it's going to be very entertaining. Regardless, one of them is going to speak. I guarantee you, if you go look, there's probably a bet in Vegas as to who's going to initiate the first, as to who's going to initiate the first shot. Shots are going to get fired, and it will be sooner rather than later. So, because Gruden, I mean, he doesn't, he's a character himself. So you've got a bunch of big egos on this team. Well, two big egos at least, on this team. And the coach and the player are both big, huge egos. And it's going to be tough to see, what happens with them. It's going to be very entertaining. One thing's for sure. I don't think that first of all, the Raiders have done a bunch of boneheaded moves since Gruden's been there. I just have to lay that out there. I mean, so I don't know what's going on there. That's a whole nother story for another show even. But, yeah, I mean, they're going to clash, and it's going to be ugly, but it will be entertaining.
All right, Chuck Waggin. It will be entertaining. And, I'm looking at the situation, and I can't disagree with Chuck. It's going to be entertaining. And the reason it's going to be entertaining is because the Raiders will be losing.
Yes.
Chuck, you said, look, he done made these boneheaded moves, all these different trades, and I'm going to tell you, it's not as bad as Dallas Cowboys fans. Because at least Dallas Cowboy fans can say, now look, we had winning records. so we got hyped. Well, we were hyped because we had winning. He came in, blew up the team. They want a gosh darn thing. and Raider fans go get. But see, Raider fans know better. They do. They just love the Raiders, but they don't expect them. They're almost like Bear fans. They don't expect them to do nothing, and they expect them to choke. They cool. They cool. They can deal with it. But Raider fans are going, don't believe the hype, because all that's going to happen is that Gruden's terrible coaching and management cannot be covered over by no amount of talent. Now, note I said no amount of talent can make up for this man's poor coaching and management strategy. Nothing. Not a thing. And the Raiders owners, I tell you, the Raiders owners, what was that movie when they had the guy who played P.T. Barnum, I think, the ringmaster, whatever.
Yeah,
well, I don't know what kind of ring they was trying to master, but they need Harry Houdini. They need Penn and Teller. They need the voodoo they trying to pull off. I don't know. And I know that, California is one of the legal marijuana states. Shoot, I don't care how much weed they smoke, they can see through that one. But first lady, blister feet. I don't know.
Well, Antonio Brown, as you guys have already indicated, he definitely has given a lot of content for HBO Hard Knocks. So you remember the Raiders are going to be shown on Hard Knocks this year, and Antonio Brown has already given a lot of content. He continues to be a diva with the Raiders like he was in Pittsburgh. I mean, the fact that he's on a non-football injury list, for those blister feet. I mean, you saw the pictures of those ugly-looking feet. I don't know how his feet got blister up like that, but anyway. But the thing with AB, you know what? Practice, practice. AB is like Allen Iverson when it comes to practicing in training camp. He doesn't like to practice. He's already missed several practices with the Raiders. He did this last year with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, I mean, he is allergic to practicing. He says he doesn't need to practice, I guess. But like you said, he loves to show up in style when it comes to showing up to the training camp. I mean, coming in the helicopter last year in Pittsburgh, and now he took it to a new height. He's going on a hot air balloon. I mean, but my whole thing is John Gruden, he has no choice but to put up with AB's antics because guess what?
He deserves
it. He gave him that $50 million contract, okay? So he is stuck with him, and they're stuck with each other. Because, you know, AB is a bona fide diva, and it's going to be a roller coaster season this year for Gruden. I mean, he's going to have to get used to AB and all of what he does. And, they're going to clash. Like I said, they will clash. But what are they going to do about it? He can't get rid of him at this point because I'm not sure if anybody's going to take on AB anymore because of the point that he does come with a lot of extracurricular activities as far as his antics. Who wants to put up with that? And he's a great player. I mean, we got to see if he is going to be a great player with the Raiders. I mean, he was great with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's see what he is with the Raiders. But, if this offense doesn't click, well, we all know who's going to get blamed for it. It's not going to be AB, and it's not going to be Gruden. It's going to fall on Derek Carr's shoulder because Gruden's already talking about him now that he's not Gruden's guy. I mean, he was talking about who? Peterman? That quarterback Peterman used to be on the Buffalo Bills. He was atrocious as a quarterback, and he was talking about he has some good skills. So you already know that John Gruden is Derek Carr. That's not his guy. So, I mean, this is going to be an up and down season for them, and like I said, I can't wait till Hard Knocks start. Because what's his name? Burfield? I forgot his name right. But anyway, he's already complaining about a lack of communication. So it's going to be a great show. And Antonio Brown, he has a lot to offer.
All right. Well, firstly, one thing is, and I go, Coach Gruden is doing classic management. And what I mean is he's doing that kind of management where when you come in, what you do is you blow up everything that the predecessor did so that you can for years say that, well, see, it was the way the predecessors and I'm having to, put in the right stuff. But along the way, usually what happens is that production starts to suck. So then the blame game starts. And Gruden ain't going to blame himself. So like you said, Mr. Carr is dead quarterback walking. Because that's gonna be the next person we need to blow up. And now we're gonna need to spend 2 years trying to find the right quarterback. So he gotta adjust to keep that 10-year contract going. First Lady, please take us to break.
Do I hear a scapegoat in the background? Okay, anyway, that ain't shout out with the reason.
You might that don't look like that gonna be able to escape.
All right, listeners, send a shout out with the reason these ladies are grouped together, and you may receive a $25 gift card from our partners at NFLShop.com and NBAStore.com. Your hint, billionaires. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Catherine King, not Carol King, on Shout Out Part 1.
Welcome back. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Catherine King.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. Today we are featuring the music from Catherine King. All right, DJ, let's hear Highway 420.
All I see is bright blue sky. Then that song comes on the radio, and pretty soon I'm singing, driving east on the 420, feeling high. When you're lonely, don't forget me. Call me and say, come back and stay this time. Clear blue eyes. I don't mind driving miles, you know. It gives me time to remember. Feeling I get when I get to wherever you are. When you're lonely, don't forget me. Call me and say, come back and stay this time. I will follow your tomorrows. Driving so fast, I can't see the warning sign. Back on the 420, heading west into your clear blue eyes. I'm back on the 420, heading west into your clear blue eyes.
The Catherine King is finished. And let's go to the panel for their decision regarding this record, if it's going to get a thumbs up or we're going to hit the mute button. Chuck, what did you think about Catherine King?
Well, first of all, that was the most depressing song I think I've ever heard. I mean, I don't know what. I had to look her up, right? So luckily, we were sent over some documents that she is a singer-songwriter in the country and pop genre. But gosh, I mean, that does not sound anything pop to me, or even country for that matter. It was just a bland song, and no, I cannot give this a shout out.
Okay,
In fact, I'll give it a gong.
You're going to gong it. You're going to hit the old, bring her back, Chuck Norris, and the old gong show. Okay.
It's a god.
Rest in peace,
Give
Chuck.
away your age, Chuck. You give away your age.
Yes. We aging yourself there. All
you know,
right.
they even made a movie about the gong show.
Yeah. All right, Spitface, what did you think?
Well, actually, I like the track. I'm giving it a shout out. It to me it fit, kind of remind me of some nice little old country songs and a little mellow, and to me that was some easy listening where you could have a cup of coffee and just kind of check out the scenery. So I'm giving her a shout out, and I like her voice.
You know what, Chuck, you're right. It was a dry song, very depressing because it was talking about highway, I guess, going to heaven, basically. And but I kind of liked her voice, and it is kind of like in that Carole King type of genre. It is pop, but it's more folklore type of genre is really what it is. So because she stayed in that type of lane, I'm going to give her a shout out, and that was Chuck Barris with the Gong Show. But anyway, I'm going to shout Catherine King out. So anyway, she'll be on part 2 of Shout Out, and we'll have another performance from her. But it is time for my favorite underwater friend, because I know he's out there making that sound. It's time for Flip It.
All right. It is time for Flip It, where our host defend a view and flip the screen and defend the opposing view. Deshaun Watson says he has been improving his game by studying top quarterbacks, mainly the bad man, Aaron Rodgers. We wonder who will have the better season, Deshaun or the bad man. Panel defend like Money Mayweather. The bad man will continue to be the bad man and outperform Deshaun at least this season. Chuck Waggin, defend.
Well, before I can defend this, I have to know, is the bad man, is this something that we're calling him here on Old Grumpy Radio, or is this a name that he has earned somehow along that I didn't hear about? Are people calling him?
You obviously ain't been watching ESPN, because that's a man that he was anointed with by an announcer that we prefer not to give him free publicity.
Oh, I'm not giving free publicity. That's Stephen A. Smith calling him that bad man.
The bad man. Okay. All right, now that we got that out of the way, thank you very much there, First Lady. Thank you for clearing that up for me. But, yeah, the bad man is exactly that. He is the bad man. I was unaware of the I don't watch Stephen A. all that often, but when I do, I enjoy it. But, yeah, so he is the bad man. And, every once in a while you get them young whippersnappers that come along, and Deshaun Watson is one of those young whippersnappers. And not to take anything away from him, he is definitely a great quarterback in his own right. But he is not Aaron Rodgers yet. And I have total faith that he will at some day, he's going to surpass some of Aaron Rodgers' records and whatnot, but not right now. And, I think Aaron Rodgers still has some ways to go. He still has plenty of gas in that tank. So, Deshaun Watson has been improving, but we wonder. And the thing is that Deshaun Watson will not be able to outperform the bad man. Not this year. Maybe sometime, but not this year.
All right, Chuck Waggin, say just hold off, youngin, not yet. Well, one of the things that I look at with and Deshaun Watson is smart. For one, studying. Studying is like a smart move in whatever area you're trying to improve. Studying makes a big difference. Now, and then studying the elite, the people who doing the thing, that makes a difference. So, that's regardless of football. If whatever you're doing, you're trying to improve upon, find those people who are at the top of their game. And your worst case scenario is you will incrementally move up. Now, kudos to Deshaun for studying. But see, there's another reason that he's studying Aaron Rodgers that folks might miss. See, Aaron Rodgers had that old crazy-ass coach who was getting his ass hurt by not having an offensive line or an offensive game plan where so Aaron said, you know what, I got to learn how to take off and I got to learn how to slide. And Deshaun said, I got to get Aaron's slide technique better than Aaron because Aaron's still getting hurt. With that old crazy coach he had. Now, now the thing is, they got rid of that crazy coach. They worked on the offensive line, and so Aaron is not going to have to run for his life all the time and improvise. Now, some folks say that might be a bad thing because, it's like a fish being taken from dirty water into some nice, clean, fresh water. Where at first they got to give you, whoa, what is this? Breathing good, paddling good. So, Aaron might have to make some adjustments. But see, the bad man has, while his situation has improved, Deshaun still got old crazy coach. They ain't done nothing about their line. They didn't make no drafts. They went through the draft. They went through free agency without nobody leading nothing. And what did they get? Nothing. So Deshaun, he got a right to be there because he's going to have to do some moves. But so that is what will, he will not be able to outperform Aaron with an improved team. First lady, defend.
Well, Deshaun is coming for Aaron Rodgers, but he's not that bad man, Aaron Rodgers, by a long shot. Deshaun, like Chuck said, he's still got things to work on to be Aaron Rodgers. Now, Aaron Rodgers needs to regain his place on the top of the charts as like a top 3 quarterback. I mean, right now, believe it or not, according to NFL Network, they have Aaron Rodgers listed as the 8th quarterback in the league. So, everyone around the league is whispering that he's not good anymore. And, like you said, Spitface, that coach, Mike McCarthy, was not good for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers put Mike McCarthy on the pedestal versus the other way around. And the thing about Aaron Rodgers, he's really never had great receiving weapons. I mean, he still puts up great numbers. His favorite target, Devontae Adams, probably is the best that he has as a receiving weapon. But believe it or not, he's ranked number 35. So he's ranked number 35. 45. So that tells you how much of a bad man Aaron Rodgers is. The fact that he never really had somebody like what Deshaun Watson has. He had DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is like a top 3 receiver in the league. If you imagine if Aaron Rodgers had DeAndre Hopkins, I mean, he definitely would have tremendous stats. But anyway, the main thing for Aaron Rodgers, he has to prove that he can stay healthy. If he stays healthy, he would have no problem returning to that form we are so accustomed to seeing. And the fact that he does have a new coach, Matt LaFleur, he will definitely be able to instill some new life into Green Bay's offense and to help Aaron Rodgers become that bad man again.
All right, we heard the defense with the First Lady, but this is flipping, where we flip the script and defend the opposing view. The bad man has been plagued by injuries and a coach living in the past glory. Now, things have changed, but the change is it's called a new sheriff is in town, and his name is Deshaun. He will have a better season. You know, when I look at the situation and I'm looking at can Aaron Rodgers stay healthy? And one thing I've noticed when elite athletes start having injuries and then they start compounding the injuries, it's usually a telltale sign that it's not going to be like get better. They're going to be injured. Now, they may not be career ending, but it's going to be those things that just come up at the wrong time while you're trying to make a push. Ankle gets so. Ankle ain't never been so, you know. And some of you folks know what it is. They call that old age, you know. So things that hit that you used to be able to take when you was 22, you know, how old is Aaron Rodgers? You know, that hit me hurting today, you know. And, you know, that ain't, you know, and we look in the sports world, in a way it's a shame because it's like you look and you go, man, you know, at 30-something, you're over the hill, you know. But that's the way it goes, you know. Most athletics is a young person's game. For the, you know, and now that may change in the future with all the bionics and stuff that they'll have people taking and, you know, and but, you know, whatever, they folks might have 3 heads for about 10 years. But that's just from eating the food. But, you know, but the thing is, between, you know, it's in a weird way, all the time they be catching up with Aaron. I don't get he can go through a season without having injuries that actually sideline him, that aren't career-threatening or ending, but he ain't going to play 2-3 games. And that's going to impact. While Deshaun been studying in tapes, and he go, look, I'm going to have this BS offense, but I got talent, fortunately, because I got great receivers. I got, you know, and I do have a running game. Now, my coach may not be living up to the, you know, so I know that he going to call these plays with an offensive line trying to hold folks for way longer than they need to. And, you know, so what I'm going to do is learn like the bad man and slip and slide. Deshaun to have a better season. First Lady, the thing.
Well, I mean, Aaron Rodgers in 2008 did not look good at all. He was inaccurate. He just took too many sacks. Of course, like you said, that offensive line in last year didn't help him. But the main thing, Aaron Rodgers will be 36 years old. So Father Time is catching up with Rodgers. However, we talk about Deshaun Watson. He's young, and he still has a major upside that Rodgers doesn't have anymore. We already know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do, but there's still a lot of growth to Deshaun Watson. And the main thing for Watson, I mean, he has a top-flight receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. he's going to catch anything Deshaun throws within his vicinity. So he's always going to improve Deshaun's stats. And, after the ACL, you remember Deshaun Watson had an ACL. A lot of people forgot this man had an ACL, and he came back after that ACL and came back stronger because remember his rookie season was great. He came back with a great second year, too. And, they went to the playoffs. They didn't win, but he has all that experience now. So Deshaun Watson is a superstar in waiting, and he along with DeAndre Hopkins, I mean, they're going to lead Texans to a playoff, and I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Watson will have a better statistical season than Aaron Rodgers because he is going to be that man. I'm talking about a superstar.
All right, superstar. Chuck Waggin.
Well, Deshaun Watson is absolutely a superstar. And, you guys, there's a case to be made about Aaron Rodgers, the bad man, Aaron Rodgers, excuse me. He is Aaron Rodgers, and he's had a great, great career. But he's reached his glass ceiling. We already know what he can do. And we still aren't fully aware. We know somewhat of, we know what Deshaun Watson is capable of, but we haven't seen what all he can do fluidly yet. We haven't seen all of that yet. So there's still a glass ceiling with him that needs to break. And I think that we're going to see Deshaun Watson have a great year this year, a much better year, a much better year than Aaron Rodgers, frankly, because, Rodgers is already in his mid-30s. Those injuries got to be catching up with him. And, I mean, if you think about Deshaun Watson, he's still that young whippersnapper. He's out there running around. I mean, I have great confidence that Aaron Rodgers is going to be he's studying Aaron Rodgers, okay, Deshaun Watson, studying Aaron Rodgers. What does that tell you? He knows that Aaron Rodgers is if you're going to be the elite quarterback in the league, you have to be Aaron Rodgers-esque. And so for Deshaun Watson to understand and realize that, hey, I have to see what this guy does. And I mean, first, he's got a bad coach too. He's got one of them boneheaded coaches, like Spitface was saying. So yeah, he's got to look to Aaron Rodgers so he can channel his inner Aaron Rodgers, so he can get away, with having actually they've got a better line, so they've made some strides. But still, he's already had to learn how to protect himself because the first few years he had a terrible line. So now they're getting a better line. So, yeah, the whole thing, Deshaun Watson, without a doubt, will have a better year than the bad man. And tune in to my prediction later on because it does have to do with the bad man. But, yeah, Deshaun Watson, better year.
All right. First Lady, please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2.
Flipper.
Welcome back. You are still listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for the funnies. Spitface, over to you.
First Lady, now, Chuck Waggin has gotten into the flow as well. She is starting to love our dumb criminals who oftentimes are need to grow as much as we do. Welcome to the club, Chuck Waggin. We love it, our dumb criminals. Now, sometimes, there's the, Mother Nature calls. You understand, and you have to kind of make that break from the dinner, baby, Mother Nature calls. And then, you got to go do whatever. And sometimes it can be an inopportune situation. You're driving, you at a big event, But, let me just put it like this. Suspect farts so loudly his hiding spot is revealed to the police. Suspect farts so loudly his hiding spot is revealed to the police. Deputies with the Clay County, Missouri Sheriff's Office were searching a wooded area for a man wanted for possession of a controlled substance. When the subject passed gas so loudly, the agency posted on Facebook, if you got a felony warrant for your arrest, the cops are looking for you, and you pass gas so loud it gives you a hiding spot, you're definitely having a poop emoji day. Response from citizens to the social media post was understandably positive. One citizen commented, "You guys have put out some great posts, but this is the next level stuff. Fantastic, thank you." Dirt and water splashing on you. It must be time for our favorite underwater friend. It's time to flip it. First lady, over to you.
Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham are dazzling the fans at the Cleveland Browns training camp. We wonder, will this dynamic duo get them to the playoffs? Panel defend. The Browns are better, especially with OBJ, but the AFC North is tough. And leading the pack, you have the Ravens and Steelers. Sorry, no playoff berth. Chuck, defend.
Well, you're talking about the Browns here, and they have a history of no playoff berths. They have a good history of no playoff berths. Adding OBJ to the team and Baker Mayfield having, somewhat of a breakout season last year will not get them to the playoffs anytime soon either. They've got more work to do to get to the playoffs. You've got the Steelers out there, the Ravens, all these teams, with solid credibility. And then you've got the Browns, who have still to, make the playoffs for once in God knows how long. Had how many quarterbacks you go to die in Pittsburgh? Quarterbacks go to die in Cleveland, that is. So yeah, they won't be making the playoffs anytime soon. No way. Not OBJ, not Baker Mayfield, none of them. Take them out, scratch them off.
Okay. They say quarterbacks die in Cleveland. All right. Spitface, defend. The Browns will not make the playoffs.
Yeah, when you look at that division, and many a time, a while, either the Ravens and the Steelers have made it in, and, one, of course, was the wild card. It's just tough to say that two wild cards would come out of the AFC North. Because really, what the Browns would be looking at is knocking off the Ravens or the Steelers. Now, the Ravens got better. Their quarterback situation got everything getting better for the Ravens. So now the Steelers, they may be a question mark, because of their personnel changes. And, the thing you look at with the Steelers is they got Big Ben. They got Big Ben. And when you got that big-time quarterback, a lot of – and he's an accurate quarterback. There are receivers who you can get away with not having the top receivers. So they're going to win some games. And so what Cleveland is looking at is really, can they catch the Steelers in an off season? Because two wild cards are not coming out of the AFC North. So no playoff this year.
Okay. No playoff this year. Well, look, of course, the Browns are better than they were previous years. On paper, they look like a playoff team. However, you have to play the games to determine if you will be good. I mean, all the pundits have crowned them as the champs of the AFC North. But you want to know something? People are forgetting that two teams are still in that division, Pittsburgh and the Ravens. Now, I believe Pittsburgh will definitely be better because you want to know why? They exterminated those killer bees that was stinging the team. That's what was the problem. So they're going to be better because of subtraction. That's why they will be better. Lamar Jackson, well, less. Yeah, you're right, Spitface. He definitely has had another year as a quarterback for the Ravens, and he's going to make significant improvements. Hopefully he'll learn to throw the football, and that will be a major improvement. But I still think that they will be better. And I don't know. The Browns are better, but I still have to go with the status quo. It's either going to be the Steelers or the Ravens to win the division, not the Browns. But you know what? We're going to flip it. Panel defend. The Browns have their quarterback of the future and an outstanding receiver and a pretty darn good running back. Watch out, Browns fan. You're going to the playoffs. Spitface defend.
Well, I'm looking at the Browns and I'm going, it is ridiculous to think that they're going to win that division. But it is not ridiculous to think that they will get a wild card. And the Steelers, if there's ever a time to catch the Steelers, it's this year because they're going through a bit of a transition. The other thing is Cincinnati done had some upheaval. You got a new regime there. So Cleveland is actually starting to look a little bit steady. And, like I said, they do actually have a good running game. And the defense was kind of like looking spry and hungry and young. So they got some ballers. And they got a quarterback that can play the game. Now, he may have that sophomore slide, but I don't think so because they went and got him a good friend called all-world wide receiver to help their young quarterback grow. So, while the Ravens situation, they got their quarterback, he young. So, it could be it's going to be some, as they say, trial by fire. But I think old Baker got a little magic in him. Sometimes, where, and I mean that magic where you get some luck. Sometimes it ain't all the talent. Yeah, sometimes that bounce of the ball just go your way. And he got that lucky bounce. And OBJ is like, look, I'm going to show y'all that they was hindering me in New York. I didn't dislike New York, but I was being hindered. And even with the money, I couldn't do my thing. I ain't got no blisters on my feet on Instagram. That's all I'm saying, First Lady.
Okay. All right. OBJ don't have any blisters on his feet. All right. Over to you, Chuck. Defend. The Browns will be going to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Watch out, Browns fans. You're definitely going to the playoffs. I mean, they got some new blood in town. OBJ is in town now. Baker Mayfield. They've made some good moves over there, and they're making a lot of noise, too. So I feel very good about their chances to make the playoffs. I mean, they don't have to win the division. It's like Spitface was saying. They don't have to win the division. They can squeak by. But I think they'll be able to squeak by because even though Pittsburgh has a good offensive line, they've got a really good offensive line that can protect Big Ben. However, Big Ben is up there in age. He's up there in age, and I think that Father Time is it's bound to catch up with him, and I think this is a year where it starts to happen. And he misses some games due to some nagging injuries that he's had in his past and stuff. So, and that will put Cleveland in position to squeak by Pittsburgh. I think it would be great for the NFL if it happens. Everybody is pulling for Baker Mayfield, and now that he's got OBJ over there, I mean, how could things cannot go wrong with a combination like that. Pittsburgh is out of the playoffs this year. They're out of the playoff picture, and the Browns are stepping in, baby. Book it.
All right. We're going to book it for the Browns. Well, yeah, the AFC North is probably wide open than it has been in the past because of the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers, we don't know what they're going to be, the fact that their killer bees are no longer there. And as far as the Ravens, I mean, this is the first full season with Lamar Jackson as the quarterback, and he has to show. I mean, remember when you got video on people, things change, and we already know the man can't throw the ball that well, so he's got to improve his arm strength and his accuracy. So the thing with the Browns, they know they have a quarterback in Baker Mayfield. But one thing about the Browns, they better hope that Baker Mayfield doesn't get hurt because they don't have the depth at quarterback. They don't have a good backup, but they don't need, because we're talking about Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has the confidence. He is a young quarterback that has an arm, and he can get the ball to those receivers. And with them signing Odell Beckham, that just booked them to the playoff because that man has the ability to be spectacular. He makes all the spectacular plays. But they also have Jarvis Landry, who makes all the productive plays. He's their productive slot receiver, and he gets them the first down. But when it comes to the touchdowns, we're talking about OBJ because that's what he's there for, and that's what's going to put them over the hump to get into the playoffs. Now, let's not forget, they got a nice core of running backs. You got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. We forgot they have Kareem Hunt. Now, he's going to be suspended. He will be coming at the end of just about at the end of the season for that playoff rush. And also, they got Duke Johnson. Now, we don't know if Duke is going to be on the team because, Duke said, wait a minute, I'm not going to be no third string running back. So he wants to be traded, but we don't know what the status of it. But that's a three-headed monster there in their running back. And, of course, they got a competent offensive line and to protect Baker Mayfield. And their defense is not shabby either. I mean, you got to give a lot of kudos to John Dorsey. I mean, this man has come in and has made significant changes and put the Cleveland Browns on the map. Remember, they were already on the map as the mistake by the lake, and they are no longer called the mistake by the lake. This team will be in the playoffs. You can thank it. All right, Spitface, what jambalaya do you have for us, spicy or mild?
I might have to cool it off after that. We have a special mix for our panel. We have a couple of giggles that were sent to Old Grumpy Radio by the ladies. We have Radical Departure out of Salt Lake City, Utah. And Radical Departure poses something here, an interesting question. Why are black men penises bigger than white men? Why are black men penises bigger than white men? Because as kids, white men had toys to play with. Oh my God. Why you give us Radical Departure and this?
Okay.
I think I hear giggles, so I guess,
All right, moving along.
Now, we got It's Wet out of Tiki Bay, Florida. And this is so poignant. What did the Alabama sheriff call the black guy who had been shot 50 times? What did the Alabama sheriff call the black guy who had been shot 15 times? Worst case of suicide he had ever seen.
I can't laugh at that one because that's true.
Oh, no.
Man.
I can't laugh at that one. I ain't giggling on that one.
That's an ugly one,
Because too much of that is going around.
But I kind of think she was trying to make a subtle point, so I'm going to give her a giggle, even though I'm not going to giggle per se. First lady, please take us to break.
On the other side of the break, we have another performance from Catherine King on Shout Out Part 2. Please stay tuned. No toys.
Now, 16 times would have been the worst case of suicide that Alabama sheriff would have ever seen.
You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for Shout Out Part 2, the picks, and the finale. The music flows from around the globe. To get a shout-out from the crew, Spitface, over to you.
All right. We have another performance from Catherine King. Let's hear Tennessee Wildflower. Make me want to go ahead and get me some Jack Daniels. Tennessee Wildflower. Let's hear it.
You sent me wildflowers all the way from Tennessee, pressed into a letter, romantic as can be. You sent your words of love, chosen with such care, written with a shaky hand, tender as a prayer. Will you be my Tennessee wildflower, wildflower? I will be your summer rain, your hot July afternoon sun shower. If you'll be my Tennessee wildflower. I touch the soft petals, pressed lightly on the page, and thought if I'd never known the sun, I could be happy in the shade. But you are warm breezes and sunlight on my skin. You never try to keep me when it's time to leave again. Will you be my Tennessee wildflower, wildflower? I will be your summer rain, your hot July afternoon sun shower. If you'll be my Tennessee wildflower. I'm going back to Tennessee, where wildflowers grow everywhere, when they have just what they need. Will you be my Tennessee wildflower, wildflower? I will be your summer rain, your hot July afternoon sun shower. If you'll be my Tennessee wildflower. If you'll be my Tennessee wildflower.
All right, that was Tennessee Wildflower by Catherine King. It's the track getting a shout out of the mute button. Chuck Waggin, how you feeling, Tennessee Wildflower?
Well, I liked it. I thought it was a good song. It had a good little feel to it. I'm gonna give it a shout out.
She improved in your ears.
Yeah, a little nice recovery there. Nice recovery. You can clearly see that it's a country music song. It's got a good little message about the Tennessee wildflower, and I like it.
The Chuck Waggin liked it. So we got a shout out. First lady. What's the lady?
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to shout it out. This was more upbeat, feel-good song compared to the first one, even though I did like the first one. I like this one a lot better. It had, like I said, she has some of the attributes of Carole King, but, she's a songwriter. You can tell in the detail that she puts in her words of the song, the lyrics. So I'm going to definitely shouting it out.
I'm shouting it out. I thought it was a sweet country song. It was a sweet country song. Will you be my Tennessee wildflower? That's one of those little country songs where you and the little cutie are, just sipping on a little tea and enjoying some breakfast. That's the inner shout out. If you like what you heard from Catherine King, and that's with a C, check her out at CatherineKingMusic.com and the Old Grumpy Radio Network. If you would like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to content at oldgrumpyradio.com. First Lady, back to you.
Okay, it's time for the hardball picks and who will win the crown. All right, well, unfortunately, I didn't have the stats from last week, but, Chuck is back this week, so we'll definitely have all the results for 2 weeks, all right, starting next week. So let's get to this week's results. This week's picks. Twins, more wins than Yankee. 10,000 for the correct answer, minus 10,000 for the incorrect answer. I'm going to go with the Yankees. The Yankees are continued to be hot, even though they had a little problem with the Boston Red Sox, but they came back and won some more games. All right, Chuck, who do you have?
I got Twins.
You have Twins more, okay. So actually, so you're yes and I'm no. Let's put it in the right context. No, and okay. You are yes. Spitface?
I kind of, my sense is the Yankees are due for a little bit of a stumble, lose a couple of games, and all the Twins got to do is win a couple of games. Looking at whose games are going to be more competitive, I'm going to say the Twins are going to pick up just enough wins to edge the Yankees out. Yes to the Twins.
Okay, yes to the Twins. All right, moving along. Philly more wins than Washington. Chuck? Philly more wins than Washington. 10,000 for the right answer, minus 10 for the incorrect answer.
Is this baseball?
Of course it's baseball.
Yeah, I'm going to say, yes, Philly will have more wins than Washington.
Okay. So you say yes. Spitface?
No.
I'm going to say no also. All right, lastly, the Cubs, more wins than the Cardinals. 10,000 for the right answer, minus 10,000 for the incorrect answer. Spitface.
Even though I'm a Cubby fan, no.
You can say no. All right.
I think it's going to stay the Cardinals. I think it's just going to stay about the same, so no.
I'm going to say yes for the Cubs. And Chuck?
I will also say yes for the Cubs.
Okay, so like I said, we'll have 2 weeks results for next week. All right, it's time for the panel outrageous predictions. Chuck, you already alluded that you had an outrageous prediction for us, I guess, about somebody. I forgot who it was.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Bad man.
Bad man.
The bad man will suffer a season-ending injury in Game 2.
We're gonna make Chuck? We're gonna make a request. No more predicted injuries for the athletes. We can't be doing that.
Okay.
No. Don't be predicting that. Now you might predict they have a terrible season. That they get caught in that they get caught in the bed with another man. and they already there. Now, you might even predict that somebody might choke on a chicken. But my outrageous prediction is really simple, Chuck. It's that Dak Prescott would be the MVP of the league.
Dak Prescott, what now?
Okay, I'm sorry. So you said Eric. I apologize. All right, moving along. Spitface, what's your prediction?
Dak Prescott will be the MVP of the league.
Oh, okay. All right. That's your prediction. All right. Well, my prediction is that Zeke Elliott will stay out the entire season. It's going to be the meeting of two egos, Jerry and Zeke. And Zeke is going to stay out the entire season.
Oh, yeah.
Zeke's going to be traded because we know we're going to win that ego battle.
Okay. Chuck, how can people get in contact with you?
Well, they can listen to my shows on Blog Talk Radio /World Generation Podcast. Check it out.
All right. And you can please visit us at braspantysports.com, where you'll find links to the latest episodes of the show. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. Our brothers and sisters in Puerto Rico, we are not going to forget you. This has been Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Chuck Waggin, and Spitface. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. See you next week.
Madness.